When you cheat the regulations, what is the consequence? When you cut corners to get the job done faster, what exactly is the worst thing that can happen? Today we're going to talk about just that and show you some of the consequences of what can occur if you're in a bad crash while doing something in a manner against the regulations. The first one is a huge settlement by the trucking company Werner. Werner needs to pay the victim $92 million. But the reason this one is critical to you, the driver himself, Ali, owes $13 million, and he doesn't even own the truck. Negligence while driving or on your pre-trip can make you personally responsible for financially part of the award given to the victim. What do we mean by negligence? Well, if you ignore the regulations and are speeding, following too close, driving past your legal hours, or so many other things, it can also mean not using a level of caution. Example, driving a container when the brakes aren't fully operational, or with slid flat tires. Beaumont, Texas. This accident occurred on May 3, 2023. The driver is being charged with manslaughter because at the time of the crash, he was using his cellular device. Anytime you're in a bad accident, the authorities will see what your electronic device was doing at the time of the accident. Minneapolis. This is a case where a driver has been convicted of 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter and 1 count of careless driving, going to jail for driving the truck. Again, the cell phone records is what allows this to be considered criminal. Driving while using a cell phone with your hands can easily get you locked up. Greeley, Colorado. This accident, the driver's arrested and charged with vehicular homicide. He faces decades in prison over this fateful day. He drives going 76 miles per hour into the back of a car, never slowing or swerving before the impact. He faces jail because he was speeding at the time of the crash, not showing caution and braking before hitting the vehicle, and his medical card wasn't updated, so he legally should not have been on the road. Sacramento, California. A fatality where a semi-truck driver is accused of causing a pileup. According to the report, he was speeding going 64 miles per hour in a construction zone and hauling 74,000 pounds of product, massively overweight. He was also over the maximum legal driving hours. He falsified his ELD on the day of the crash. Indiana. On I-465, this time a truck driver crashes into a line of cars. He initially lied and told the police he was going 35 miles an hour. But the computer shows his speed was 65 miles an hour. He eventually admitted to being distracted because he reached for iced tea, which was a big enough distraction to lead to the accident and the fatality. He faces charges of criminal recklessness and reckless homicide. Elwood, Illinois. This driver was behind the wheel for almost 12 hours, speeding through a construction zone on I-55. He struck several cars and 4 people died. He's being charged with several felonies of the crash. Reason? Not showing caution, speeding, falsifying his logbooks. Arizona. Danny Tyner was in an accident that killed 5 people. He is facing 5 counts of endangerment and 1 of tampering with physical evidence. He initially tells the police he was distracted by a message coming from his dispatch. Eventually, using his phone records, they find out he was on TikTok at the time of the crash. These are just a handful of hundreds of examples like this that happen every year to truck drivers. It is so critical that you make safety your number 1 priority. Every one of these people believed it would never happen to them until they were the person in the news.